switched, so I did night shift last night and morning shift this morning.
All right,
Very
good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. Nearly a full house. We'll call the meeting to order and start with our introduction of guests. We have Steve Meyer with Harris Beach. Thanks for joining, Steve. And we have our board member, Steve Blaubert, online participating too. So thanks for joining online, guys. Our first agenda item here is to have an executive session if we need one. And so do we need one?
Sure, yes. Discuss ongoing, how do we say, ongoing lawsuit with Town of Milo and Village of Pena.
Okay, then I would ask for a motion to enter executive session for that stated purpose.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Jesse. Is there
I'll
a
second it.
Thank you, Jen. All right. We're good. All right. I'd ask for a motion to enter open session, please.
I'll make it.
Jesse, is there a second?
So moved.
Okay, thanks, Janice. We're back in open session with no business being conducted in executive session. We'll move on with the review of and approval of minutes from our August 15th and the special meeting, and then a regular meeting on the 20th. There are the green papers in the packet, and I would ask for a motion to approve these minutes.
Marisa.
Thank you, Marisa. Is there a second?
Sure.
Jared? Any further discussion or suggested changes to the minutes before we vote? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that's carried. Do we have any changes in the agenda for this?
No, can you vote on Cuba Springs?
I'm not directly involved in it
Okay.
yet, if we need to.
No, I didn't know if you had any, because I know Janice only had a few minutes left. But we're good. And we had a number, we have a quorum, so you know that if you can't, then
Steve can vote because only.
we're.
Yeah, okay, so then let's move on to the finance report. We had the P&Ls and the loan reports in the packet as normal. And then Doreen last night sent out the check detail report. Maybe Doreen, do you want to go over the checks?
Sure. I have, check numbers are listed on the report, and they're totaling $112, $271.04. The big one is the Otis elevator for 48.6, which is 50% down for the elevator modernization project. So we have that, and then
What was the total? 112,000.
112,000, yeah. I'm trying to get, yeah, there was, 2977 to Harris Beach, yeah. Carpet for the second floor for an office, yeah. Quite expensive. And then that's under Horizon, so that'll be the next meeting.
Okay.
And then, profit and loss, I don't know if anybody's got any questions.
Saying that we're still turning in all the right areas on the balance sheet where assets are up, equity's up, so it's going the right way. While still making a ton of renovations. And Alan was great, helping with the elevator. He spent a lot of time here.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Okay.
And has still offered help to see the project through too. We need it, so it's very nice.
Elevators are fun.
Right, any other questions for Doreen? I would ask for a motion to accept the finance report and approve paying the specific checks.
I'll make the motion.
Jesse, is there a second?
Second, Amy?
Great, thanks, Amy. Any further discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that's carried. Move on to the status reports. Doreen, do you have anything else?
I do not have any updates.
Mike?
I'll just mention that the bridge dinner or community table dinner was held beginning of September on the 6th. Had to move it again for the third year in a row, so we held it at the Finger Lakes Produce Auction, which worked out really well. It was a great space. They had left some pallets of produce out and about, so it
That's
added to the
fun.
farm to table feel of the whole event. It will likely be our rain destination going forward for that, just because it's a huge space, ton of parking, able to set up the day before. Hopefully we don't have to use it again, but
This is
if
like
we
the
do, it
only
worked
day
out.
we had rain was that, and
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
had rain
Three
since,
months,
not
yeah.
that I'm counting.
I
Yep.
know.
Yeah, there's snake bitten there.
I'm curious if that's when the Buckwheat Festival used to be held. It's
Yeah.
right around that time, and it
Yeah.
rained
Yeah.
every single weekend during the
Yep.
Buckwheat Festival. Every year
That's
it
right.
rained on that weekend. And it was right about that same,
Same
very
time.
close to the
Yeah,
same time.
That's funny. Historical. Penny Inn Community Cafe was the beneficiary. The only thing hiccup that we had the whole event was the band we had was instrumental only, so they didn't have a microphone. And we had brought a microphone from the chamber that was not working. So the Community Cafe was unfortunately unable to really present what they're all about and let everyone know. But Connie did offer like a 30-minute to hour-long Zoom session for anybody that was wanted or interested after the fact, so that people could learn about what they're doing for the community. Don't have a final tally yet. We have our follow-up meeting on Friday on what was raised for them, but it should be significant. Lot of donations again for the whole event itself, which just allows us to put back a large percentage of the proceeds to donate it to the beneficiary. Other than that, I've been working with a company in the Himrod area that's got an expansion project, existing business, so we should have a straight leaseback application for them next month. Been going back and forth with them for a while. It's a smaller project, so it should just be one approval, no need for a public hearing, so I'll have the details on that out before our October meeting. And then still working with the businesses in Dundee. It's in the status report. At this point, we've identified potential projects to move forward with, and it's going to be some hand-holding and one-on-one work with them to make sure that they can meet all the state requirements, get everything we need to actually push them forward. So we haven't formally announced what each building is receiving funding-wise, because we want to make sure that they're able to go forward, meet all those requirements before we put a formal announcement. I think last month I listed which projects had applied.
Yeah, you listed it in this one too.
Are they in there again?
Yep.
Okay, great. I'm excited for that. There's some meaningful change there in the Dundee community with those building renovations.
I think it
Yeah.
was in between last month? Dundee got another
Yeah.
major award for their Millard's Park. They got $1 million parks. It was a new grant through Parks and Rec to do a major uplift of their park down there.
That's great.
Dog park,
Walking
ADA
trails.
yeah,
Yeah.
playground, fencing in the ball fields. So it's a big win for them down there. A lot of activity going on, which is good.
Yeah, some good momentum in Dundee. Only thing I'll add is, Brendan gave our website's close. I started seeing a flurry of activity last night, the long-awaited website. I saw a bunch of
Squarespace. It's getting there, yeah.
Squarespace sent me a bunch of emails last night. This is activated, that's activated. Thank you for your purchase. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on? I don't remember purchasing anything. And then, they had a website. Social media continues to grow. We're up almost 10% now for Instagram followers, but the views are much higher. We're up like 500% on, so the interaction is much more involved now on Instagram than it has been before. Same with Facebook. Huge difference in views, like 3,500 views up to like 29,000 views now. LinkedIn has grown 20%. For the EDCs, again, that one, we're trying to shift a little bit more. Right now, it's mostly me on LinkedIn, and we're trying to shift a lot of those followers from me over to, or at least have them follow the EDC as well on that. So where we're struggling is X. We're not getting much traction with any followers or anything on X, so we're trying to shift some strategies there to figure out what might be working
So
better.
I should sign up for an account and follow?
I mean, that help by one.
That would help.
Assuming you then not just sign up but then follow and actually engage.
I think
Pretty sure
people
if
are
you post some-
Do
transitioning
it
away
a
from
few
that.
thousand times over.
I was gonna say,
What
if
did you say, Chelsea?
I think people are slowly transitioning away from X. It's like more the
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok, like your
Yeah.
X is kind of
Pinterest.
like,
Yeah.
It's pretty controversial. I was just gonna say, some of the comments we made in executive, you could post on X and you'd get followers. So.
Yes, well, there you go. That is true. And then the one thing, I don't know, like if you can
Yeah.
put it up, because I don't have another report that came out from Greater Rochester they didn't do it, the Greater Rochester Enterprise had NISO come to New York State Independent System Operators, power companies, and gave an update on their 2025 power trends report, and it's you gotta lower the.
Going down.
So you gotta push the button in, I think, and then it'll drop. Well-run machine right here.
But it was just screwing it.
I'll just go to page 3.
I'll let you.
Yeah.
I'll kick you when the meeting's
There you
over.
go. Start there. So basically, not that you can.
Close that last time. It popped up.
Basically, it's reinforcing that the challenges that the grid's under. That with the state policies are reinforcing a challenging development here. That basically generation deactivations are outpacing new supply additions, which is a challenge. A lot of that being forced on by public policies that the ISO is saying we need fossil fuel generation for, at worst case, we can't deactivate them while we're trying to still implement enough of the green energy solutions here. Without it, you're gonna see a lot of potential degradation of the current system and a lot more outages, which is scary when the power companies are saying this. This isn't an economic development group saying it. Go to the next page if it'll let you. I don't know if it's gonna make you sign in. Basically,
Oh, boy.
I can just kind of hold it up here.
you gonna show us your password.
Well, okay. Well, anyways, it's gonna be really small to see in my hand here, but
There you go.
oh, okay, never mind, good. So this is what's gonna be added. These are just some of the larger. Just maybe a little X out of that. The 1,000 megawatt project, that's Micron in Syracuse. 346, I think is plug power. It could be plug power, it could also be Fairlife.
I would say Fairlife, plug power is pretty much tapped.
There's also a big data center trying to go in Genesee County in place of plug power. Like a massive
In
data
place
center.
of plug power?
Yeah,
Existing location or new location?
existing.
Do you have some news that I don't know, Steve?
Maybe.
There's, well, this just fell out.
So lots of
Good to know.
potentially incoming ones, and then if you go to the next one, Mike. So this is kind of the interesting part. So you see where general demand is the lower blue. Middle is what EVs have added to the grid, and then what all the buildings going electric are gonna do, so we're gonna need, almost 43,000 megawatts of power, and that's not quite double, well, it's actually really close to doubling what we're gonna need in terms of power from where we are now by just going full electric.
So that's what, 25 out to 45?
Well, you're below that, you're at 20 with just what we're current,
No, I'm saying years.
oh yeah, 20.
44, 45.
Yeah, okay.
It says by 2025, we're gonna be in a challenge where we're gonna be like a peak demand place when we start importing power. Go ahead. So, and there, this is NISO, this is branded GRE, but this is coming off of NISO's report, that, the CLCPA it's just now getting started, and we're in a real challenge. Yeah, and this is where some of the suggestions back to the state are, we gotta get policies in line and working with one another, because they're in conflict. So they're pushing this solar really heavily, but yet you have the agricultural community, we're losing so much farmland right now. There again, Genesee County has, I don't even know how many acres, I think it's 1,000 acres, 1,500 acres under glass, out in Bergen, which has got great soils everywhere. And it's this huge solar distribution thing going on out there. And the GCEDC is looking at potentially not supporting solar pilots anymore. At least where it's going to be going on
Good
agricultural
agricultural land,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, that may not matter, because the solar companies can still basically just do it. So that's the challenge. And interestingly enough, there's a whole lot of NOAA reports now that the windmills that were originally put up are at the end of their useful life, some of the original ones, and they're having to come back down. So there's the state's first one, I don't know if it's in the Oswego area, is set for demolition here pretty soon. Wyoming County talked about at the last meeting, they have 150 or so windmills, all of which I think are coming down, and in place are like 30 or so 6.5 megawatt turbines going up. The current ones are like 2.5 megawatts, so those are coming down. The 6.5 megawatt ones are going up, but they're 650 feet in height. They're massive. Those are enormous. But then what do you do with all these decommissioned windmills? They go to they're of a material that doesn't just go away. So you gotta go find places to bury them, I guess. Anyways, you're gonna see a lot more demand coming on with the CLCPA, and I think we're maybe more.
Starting in January, I just got a thing from the Department of State, buildings that we're not allowed as code officers to allow anyone to use anything but electric for heat and fuel, or, cooking, anything like that. It all has to be electric from this point on. So
New build?
on new builds, yeah. So no more gas or propane. And if they do, you're supposed to stop the project completely. So,
What?
Yeah.
so all houses have to be done by electric now, so which is pretty controversial, obviously, around here. But,
Well, especially with the cost of electricity.
Yeah.
Oh
Right
my
now, so
gosh.
they're forcing you to go to electric, and it's really expensive to use electric. All right, go to the next
Let's
real
just
quick.
get-
To highlight the next two or three slides real fast. This is the activations versus deactivations. So while we're forcing more demand, we're reducing the supply. So
Is anybody fighting any of these things? Is there any litigation ongoing?
yeah, but it's just not going anywhere. It's
Oh,
just
really?
it's
See, the
Not good.
governor has acknowledged backing up some of the goals.
Well, I'm talking about what Jesse just said about only building electric, when the grid is demonstrably not able to support electric.
And we're hopeful that the acknowledging that the goals aren't gonna be met, we're then reinforcing, that's great, we thank you for acknowledging we're not gonna get there, but the next step is changing the law, because the laws
Yes.
haven't changed yet. So you're acknowledging we're not gonna get there, but we haven't changed the important part of this yet.
a lot of the townships probably won't enforce it if they get caught. They'll get in trouble. But And then I think you'll end up seeing is there will be a restriction on being allowed to sell propane and gas to residents. You'll probably see them start slowly phasing sales of that out. Is how they're gonna be over top of it, is kind of the discussion we had in my code enforcement committee I'm part of, so.
Has there been any progress made on the Hochul's proposal for the nuclear power plant that was gonna be
They're gonna
providing
be,
all this?
she's proposing them. Hochul is now in favor of nuclear plants,
Yeah.
but they're 20, 30 years out, so.
Doesn't really help the.
No. So go to the, so we can move on. This is just, I thought this kind of interesting, so we're sending, you know, this is the imports and exports of where the power is going. So we're still, in most parts, sending more power out than we're having to bring in. That's not true. I mean, between Ontario and to the south, we're importing lots of power. So this is it's a silly thing that we're doing. This is where headline policies don't make sense with implementing. But this is why economic blueprints and such are coming out to say we gotta get line. Okay, that's the next one. Just shows another chart, kind of the same thing. Like here's where we got 39,000 megawatts of demand, and right now we're at 41,000 megawatts of available resources. So that's statewide.
Pretty tight.
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah.
So that's why you see a little bit more on my, and I can share this report with you as well.
It's a good topic to keep bringing information back to the board though, as you have it, to keep us up to date on it, because it's gonna be huge and influential as things move forward.
I think the last thing I just wanted to say, and it's I'll have Dorian send out some calendar invites. I'd like to try to get, you know, I think it makes perfect sense now to try to get a strategic plan set forth here to how do we what do we do? Because clearly until we get more labor, until we get more housing, there's not much more we can do in terms of projects. I mean, we're taking them and we're still working with companies, but you know, what's the real, isn't it, focus and goal? And you know, I'd love to get the input. There's a lot of smart people around the table. I'd like to get input there more so than.
You're still looking at buying land for the FLEDC, correct? And maybe that's, I think the problem is it's gonna take people like you to push it to get bigger projects going, and I think if you can get your hands on it and you have enough connections that's probably our best way of bringing people in, so.
Sure, but there's still a whole strategy behind, because we'll run into,
Right.
this Milo thing isn't unique, unfortunately. Like, I think no matter where we tried to push something, we are likely to face challenges, so, which is okay, just, you know, just it is that from an organization standpoint, should that be the main focus? Is it housing? Is it workforce development? Is it stay the course and do what we do now? So I would just like that input from to kind of set us forward. You know, not if we long 3-5 years, whatever. But
Yep, good.
all right, we'll send that out. Okay, that took a while. Sorry.
Okay. Any questions for the team on any of the status report info? All right, then we'll move on to action items, and we have a final resolution for Cuba Springs Vineyard.
So this one, if you can share, this is be another eye chart challenge for you. I shared this before, so we did the initial resolution for Cuba Springs Vineyards, their expanded project, last month. We then had, yesterday was the public hearing on the proposed change to the original project held at Milo. Mike took that one for us. I think he said Pat Grimaldi, the assessor, was
Yeah, he was the only one there.
one in attendance, so no.
Couple comments, but nothing. pertinent.
Not negative.
Yeah, just no negative. She was happy that it was gonna be a single pilot and not two separate pilots due to multiple projects.
Yeah, so I think that's the benefit of this one is we're just, as I mentioned previously, the current pilot is a 15-year pilot. It is 2 or 3 years in, actually it's only 1 full year, I believe. So we're just taking the new expanded project, which is $2.8 million, and incorporating it under the existing schedule, but having it include the broader project scope. So again, 4 jobs planned to be created in and above what they had previously said they would create, which they've already created, and 27 jobs retained. Adding the total benefits with the 14-year basically remaining and the new jobs that are going to be created, you're at $25.6 million in benefit to roughly $263,000 in community investment through property tax benefits. So it's a 98-to-1 ratio. Quite a bit there. Unfortunately, because Milo doesn't require planning board approvals and seekers, we gotta be lead agency on the seeker review for this as well. So I get to run through like 11 questions with you, because we also need to approve potentially, once we go through the questions, whether it's a negative declaration and the project itself, which I think is basically what's new is basically the additional interior renovations and the exterior renovations on the property. It's roughly 5 acres of land that has been on the outside, has been or will be not renovated, expanded upon with pavilions, outdoor seating, stages, that sort of thing. So it's on the adjacent footprint. They've just done some renovations to that existing footprint under it. So
Their seeker should have been filled out by their engineer, correct? Yeah.
yep, I'm just agreeing to.
Yeah.
They did part 1.
All right, we're doing part 2.
We're doing part 2.
Now, is it because it's in the commercial district that they don't have to do a seeker through the?
Milo doesn't require.
They don't require seekers on any projects in their town?
I don't think so, not if they don't require, we've done them, I know we've had to be lead agency for basically every most Milo projects.
Tony's got a good gig going there.
Does this fall on some kind of an ag-related exemption, and that's why?
Trying to be
That would
ag.
No,
It's
we were lead
commercial.
agency on all of the Oak Hill bulk food ones. I'm trying to think of the other Milo projects.
Interesting. Well,
I know we looked
okay.
at it with the housing, wasn't the one on the Old Bath Road? We approved that project. Apartment building.
Yes.
We did do that, yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
There are times where they would have to do it, but it's pretty infrequent. I can't remember.
Interesting.
If it was a change of use or something like that, then they had to go through there, but if not, if it fell under their current approvals and they don't require it. So, very quickly, let's see if I can find my application real quick, so I can. They're expanding Cuca Springs Vineyard Winery Facility, a new cellar, theater, stage, food trucks. Complete renovation of the tasting room, expansion of the outdoor seating area, updated landscaping, parking, ingress and egress improvements, and a new entrance sign. They did the first form seeker. They didn't have to seek any additional approvals, or they'd all fit under existing approvals and zonings, which then leads us to the part 2, which has to be completed by the lead agency. So one, would the proposed action create a material conflict with the adopted land use plan or zoning regulations? I said no, but I'll let the board decide if they think there's something.
I mean, I gotta be honest, kinda tough. Hopefully no one holds us to our decision, because without reading their zoning, I don't really know yes or no. So, yeah, that's why it's kinda hard for us to be the lead agency on a project that we're not even located in. That's why I was questioning it, Steve, because a lot of times, to be the lead agency, you usually have to be.
You're saying it's to us because it complied with their zoning.
Right.
Right.
So that.
Yeah.
So
it didn't require a change.
So we're answering it, and if something's wrong on there.
It's to the best of our knowledge.
Is that what it says?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's to the
all right.
best of our knowledge.
Because that's all I worry, because I've seen these come up in court, and it's like, make sure we do it right. It's
Yep.
kind of, yeah.
It's to the best of our knowledge, that there's no negative impact.
All right.
They're meeting all their codes and they're operating.
Yeah.
So I put no to that. And if the board, at any point, like Jesse just did, if you have questions, please say something. Will the action result in a change in the use or intensity of the use of land? My answer is no, or a small impact may occur. Will proposed impact impair the character or quality of the existing community? I said no, or small impact. By the way, I put my answer to all of these so far is no or small, so I won't have to keep saying that. Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics caused by the establishment of a critical environmental area? Will it have an inverse change in the existing level of traffic or existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walking? No, there isn't the other three. Adverse change in existing, I just said that one. Increase in use of energy, and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities. Has any additional impacts beyond the fact it's a little bit bigger? Will the proposed action impact public and private water supplies or public and private wastewater treatment utilities? Not beyond what they would have been approved for to use. I gotta get DC approvals and all that, so anything that's gonna go on there, they're gonna have to seek approvals on. Will it impair the character or quality of important historical, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources? Will it result in an adverse change to natural resources? Wetlands, groundwater, air quality, flora, fauna? They're actually incorporating a lot of that in their design. Will it increase the potential for erosion, flooding, or drainage problems? Again, they've incorporated a lot of that. It has to be approved when they design it. And will it create a hazard to environmental resources or human health, other than drinking more wine?
That's not bad for your health.
It's not bad, right? I would agree with that. So that's, all we have to do there, and Steve, correct me if you think I'm wrong in any of this, to the best of our knowledge, to the best of our ability, we don't see any negative impacts or large detrimental impacts from this project going forward from an environmental aspect.
Correct. Yep.
So if that's the case, there were no negative public comments. There were also no positive public comments. There were no comments. We now have to approve or seek approval to the board for the incorporating this larger project under the existing pilot terms.
I'll make the motion.
Is
Approve it.
is it one resolution? The seeker is included all in the same resolution? I know we used to have them as
Correct.
separate.
That's the way it
separate, so it's
seems.
all included in
Yeah.
one master resolution that includes seeker.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Jesse makes the motion.
I'll make the motion to approve it.
Second.
Seconded Amy. Is there any further discussion? Anybody have comments? Okay, hearing none, can you do the roll call, Doreen?
Sure. Jesse?
Yes.
Ryan?
Yes?
Amy?
Yes.
Marissa?
Yes.
Jared?
Yes.
I'll just say for the record that the customer has a commercial banking relationship with Lions National Bank, although it's not in my direct area of influence. I'm not involved in the project. Okay, so with that, we concluded our agenda. Our next meeting is October 15th, and I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Jess.
Second.
Seconded Amy. And we will turn around and call the meeting to order for the Finger Lakes Horizon EDC. We have our same guest participating, and I don't believe we need an executive session for this.
I can try to keep you here as long as I can, and if you'd like me to throw together an executive.
No, we're good on that. We did have minutes to review. The last time we convened this entity was on July 16th. I would ask for a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll, go ahead, Amy.
So moved.
Second.
Seconded Jesse. Any comments or suggested changes on the minutes? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. Do we have any changes to this agenda? And on the finance report, I know there are a couple of checks.
There's, yeah, one check for, I can't even read the small print, $496.25, which was an overpayment on a Mustang Pub loan. So her loan is finally paid in full.
Great.
And
Very
that,
good.
yeah, all I have.
Right, then I'd ask for a motion to accept that finance report and approve paying that check.
Approved, Marisa.
Thank you, Marisa. Is
Second.
there a second? Amy? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that's carried. So our action item today is an RFP for the Penyan Diner.
Correct, yeah, so part of the OCR grant, Community Development Block Grant for the Penyan Diner, there is administrative costs built into the grant, upwards of $16,000 for administration and program delivery. So to ease the process for the administration, we put a request for a proposal out. Met all the OCR's requirements for procurement. Proposal was open for 30 days, published a legal notice in the Finger Lakes Times, and sent them directly to women and minority business enterprises. Front side of this summary here gives you what we were looking for in the proposal, and then on the back side is we only received one proposal, and those are kind of the same list of what we were looking for in services. Harrison Studio checks just about every box. They're not an MWBE, but again, we met that requirement by sending the proposal directly to them. They've agreed to complete the project for that $16,000 amount, or not to exceed that. We've used them in the past. They helped the diner with their application for the actual grant, and then they were the administrator for both the Parker's Grill and Hampton, the Seasons Conference Center projects as well. So pretty straightforward.
So-
One proposal, I think our decisions have been made.
Ooh, they're paying the 16,000, it's not some.
It's in the grant.
It's
So
in the grant,
will
okay, the
pay
grant
that.
pays it.
It's not something
Okay.
that we're gonna pay out of
Alright.
pocket. Or we will, and then it's
The
reimbursed
EDC
back to us.
Isn't allowed to administer it and recoup the.
They could. This one, there's a lot more to it. This is all based on, the award itself is based on job creation. So there's all sorts of ongoing monitoring and compliance that you have to meet. They have to be available to low to moderate income individuals. There's all sorts of postings that the company has to put out to meet those requirements to show that the jobs were available to low mod. So for this program, it's just,
It's better to
it's
not
easier
be
just to,
doing it.
yeah, just to. And with this award, it's actually the village that's the awardee. They have, the compliance really falls on them. We're a sub-recipient, so that we can handle most of it. But having the administrator involved just smooths the whole process out.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? We're asked to award the bid to one of one?
One on one?
Yeah, okay. Then I would ask for a motion to award the bid to Harrison Studio.
So moved.
Thanks, Amy. Is there a second?
Marisa.
Marisa, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that's carried. And that concludes the business for this meeting. Our next meeting will be on an as-needed basis, and I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion.
Jess, is there a second?
Second.
Amy, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Yeah,
Steve?
thank you, we're going, that's.
Thanks for participating online, Steve, Albert, and joining us, Steve Meyer.
Even takes more important to me than the, all the voting stuff, so I know it took you kind of a long way around there, but